I grew up in a small town. My mom and grandma were nurses, and so taking care of people, being part of the community is just something that I wanted to always do. And I envisioned it to be a small community, being the doctor that knows everybody and takes care of everybody. I can really do that here.
Having that combination of family practice training and sports medicine training, I really wanted a job that I could do both in. And Maine General was one of the only places that let me do that under one roof.
I'm a primary care physician. I came from 30 years of being a pediatrician. I still think it's one of the most exciting careers one can have.
You really get to establish relationships with patients and families and actually generations. So it doesn't narrow you to just one thing that, a specialist would be doing, but it's really broad. And you can look at the community and public health all the way down to the person sitting in front of you.
I have families where I'm taking care of three or four generations of the same family, and having that ability, knowing all those ins and outs and relationships really shapes my care and my understanding of my community, but also their care, and it's wonderful. It's what I wanted.
Maine General is really proud to be serving some 88 communities across the central Kennebec Valley. And we serve it with a breadth of services that begin with prevention, to primary care, specialty care, acute services, post-acute services, and even end of life.
One of the other benefits of working at Maine General is that there are a lot of specialists and subspecialists that are available, that come to your office to do lunch and learns, that are available when you call. And we have a great referrals department as well that helps sort out those decisions about where do you send somebody and who's available.
We can offer all the things that the big hospitals can offer. We have great specialists, we have the loan repayments, we have the same benefits, but we also offer within those things a community of physicians who are really committed to excellent care in a local community that's small enough to know everybody, and those relationships are so important.
I have a really nice office staff. There's a lot of teamwork at my office. It's been very welcoming, very inviting. It's a little bit challenging to be a new provider and start in a new office, and there's lots of questions that come up, but there's been support at every turn, and people are very willing to help and able to provide answers to everything that comes up.
No longer can it be just one physician seeing one patient throughout the day. That physician, nurse practitioner, physician assistant needs a team. So what's exciting right now is that we're going to move towards a more effective team in primary care to help support the primary care practitioners and the community.
Team-based care is really offloading the provider from doing some of the mundane administrative chores. It's really, we're going to uptrain our team so that the medical assistant can do what they do best. And if that's taking notes for the provider during a meeting and then educating the patient and doing some interviewing, then that's stuff that the doctor doesn't have to do, and they can do other things that only a provider can do. And some of the team-based care extends the team to not just your medical assistant, but the nurses, community health workers in the team. We have behavioral health specialists on the team. And so they all work together because patients realize that the provider's not going to be there 24/7 for them, but they get to know the team so that then any team member can be in touch with them. And again, that helps life-work balance for the providers.
One of the things that I've learned in my education in medicine is that that the care of patients is really about the team, and it was really important to me to work for an organization where I can trust that when my patients are being seen by another physician, when they're being cared for by multiple nurses, that they're getting the best care with every handoff that happens.
That expanded care team can allow a primary care team for the physicians and nurse practitioners and PAs to do what they need to do, but also to have support so that when they go home at the end of the day, they finish their work and can feel good about the work they've done that day. Our hope is that we end up with primary care being incredibly satisfied with their work day to day and throughout the year, and that we encourage more people to enter primary care.
When I had questions or concerns, instead of brushing me off, they invited me to be part of a committee or be part of a conversation. And as I grew in experience of what the hospital was looking for, I got to stretch. I got to be more than just a primary care provider. I got to be part of the conversation.
It's very important for us that physicians and nurses lead our organization, that they help us decide the best things to do from a patient experience standpoint, from a safety standpoint, and we focus on that with everything that we do.
In fact, we're going to be asking primary care physicians to be leaders. When one role they can have is to be a leader on their team. And as we have team meetings on a weekly basis, they can take a lead there. They can be a leader as we meet with other practices and begin to show other practices how to do it. They can be a leader in education as we work with medical students who want to come and do interprofessional clinical rotations with us at our primary care sites, who are recognizing the importance of the different roles. They can help with in teaching there. And they can help us in coordinating care across our system and looking at how we're doing with populations and helping us improve the work we're doing across the system. So there are multiple ways in which we can use physicians to lead, and frankly, we need physicians to lead if we're going to be successful.
I'm a working mom. I have a 3-year-old. I want time for that. I don't want to miss things. I want to be there to put her to bed at night and to make the important moments. So it was important to me to have a part-time work schedule, and they were very open to that.
Maine General does a really good job of helping support providers. I'm happy to say that we can accommodate almost any schedule. I have some doctors working 1 day a week, some working 2, 3, or 4 or 5 days a week. And if a provider wants to meet their kids at the bus after school, we can accommodate schedules and make that happen. And we really take into consideration life-work balance.
I can get to the beach in an hour. I can be at my best friend's house in Portland in just over an hour. So there's shopping, there's stuff to do, but I can also afford 30 acres of land and a beautiful rural countryside and a small community of multi-generational families to take care of. So it's great. And with the colleges locally, it's not just a small town in the middle of nowhere. We have art, we have music, we have speakers that come, people I would go and travel hours to see. I don't have to, I can go down the block. So it's nice, but it also feels like my small town. I can know people in the coffee shop or the grocery store.
We have 3 little kids, and so an important thing to us was school systems as well as quality of life. And I remember as a kid, something I liked to do was ride my bike a lot. I just wanted an environment where my kids could do that, a community they could be safe in and play in. And I also wanted a community where I could get to know the people that live nearby and feel connected to my community, so that was important to me as well.
You can be near a big city within an hour, but you can also be to the mountains in an hour, the ocean in an hour. I live on a lake and I don't have very many traffic jams getting home at night. And if you like, again, being part of a community where the people are your neighbors, I think you should come to Central Maine.
At Maine General, our mission is to enhance every day the health of the people of the greater Kennebec Valley. And we realize that primary care is a huge portion of that. Most of our physicians don't spend their time here in the hospital. They're out in the community representing Maine General and caring for the patients in the community.
You know, we have spent most of healthcare in the last century and the beginning of this century working at taking care of each individual as they come to us. But now we need to do that, plus look at how well are we doing taking care of the whole population or particular populations.
One of the things that I am passionate about is healthy access to local food, trying to make health more than just a visit with me, trying to make it part of where we live and work and all of it. So I've been working with folks from the hospital, but also from schools and churches and the community gardens to improve that access. And it's wonderful. It's really bringing people together of all generations and ages, bringing people together more socially, and so it makes me happy.
Personally, the decision of what type of medicine you practice has to do with what type of physician you want to be. But if you're someone that really cares about the relationships with your patients, that wants to build long-term relationships that enrich the patients and yourself, that you want to be sort of on the ground, working on the front lines, and if you enjoy challenges as well, it's definitely a challenging field, then I think primary care is a great fit for that.
We'll be looking for your ideas to help us shape primary care into the future, I think we can be a place that will help show the country how primary care could be done in a way that sustains it, not just sustains it, but helps it thrive.
Maine General,
Excellence at work.
Join us.
join us.
Join us.
Join us.